over 55 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by the Georgia Farm Bureau in association with Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College.
All right, come on in. Don't be bashful. Our home is your home as we welcome you to another edition of the Farm Monitor.
Yes, welcome to the program. And the only thing we ask is that you sit back and enjoy all the stories and information we're about to pass along to you, because this week we've got a little bit of everything. For instance, the pressure that's mounting on Georgia's timber industry, the proposed tax change that could help family timber producers stay on the land while keeping local communities whole. Also on the program, it's not just about how much milk is produced, but how it's sold. John Holcomb takes us to the annual Georgia Dairy Conference, where producers talked quality, demand, and the road ahead. And then later, a Georgia Farm Bureau family doing what they do best, advocating for agriculture, educating the next generation, and proudly telling Georgia's farm story, one tour at a time. All this and so much more starting right now on the Farm Monitor.
Well, over the past several weeks, Georgia Farm Bureau has been traveling the state holding its annual district presidents meetings, just like this one in Fayetteville. The meetings, which wrap up later this month, bring County Farm Bureau leaders together in a smaller, more personal setting. According to GFB President Tom McCall, that atmosphere encourages open conversation, giving members a chance to speak directly about the challenges they're facing and the priorities they want addressed in the year ahead.
You get more feedback and suggestions on what we can do better, and that's what we want. And we want to hear it from the county people, the grassroots people. They are the ones that really make Farm Bureau what it is. The state board sets the target, and we just got to figure out how to get to the target. And anytime we can hear from local people and the presidents of the counties out in the state, then that helps us figure out which direction and the roadmap to get to that end goal.
Meantime, with a farm gate value of more than $650 million, timber is big business here in Georgia. However, with the industry still recovering from Hurricane Helene, not to mention the recent closure of paper mills around the state, producers are now in crisis mode. Damon Jones reports from the state capitol, where legislation is being proposed to keep them afloat.
With more than 23 million acres of commercial timberland, Georgia is the #1 forestry state in the country. However, it is an industry under major pressure at the moment, with recent supply and market disruptions threatening its future. That's the reason behind House Resolution 1000, which proposes legislation to eliminate the harvest tax under certain conditions.
Right now, there's a timber tax that's charged to timber farmers at the time of harvest, and that's collected purely for local purposes. But it will then allow the local government that is relying on that revenue from timber tax to actually receive funds from the state. And as long as the timber farmers replanting and the land's in conservation, such as COVID, then it would allow them to not have to pay the timber tax at harvest.
While agriculture remains the top industry in the state, there has been a significant reduction in the number of farms over the past decade. And that is a major concern when it comes to timberland as well, with producers finding it more difficult than ever to stay in the business.
I'm really concerned about family farmers, individuals who want to keep land in the family or not. There's private equity, other folks out there are trying to buy up land right now. And just my interest was in ensuring that timber producers who are trying to just replant and make it through this very difficult time right now will be able to make ends meet.
Helping the producers without harming the people depending on this tax revenue is a delicate balancing act this resolution hopes to accomplish. While it might not be easy, it is important in order to keep one of the state's top commodities running strong.
Agribusiness, Georgia's #1 industry, and Georgia's #1 state for forestry as well in the country. And so any way that we can really, I think, recognize that and keep that in mind here at the state capitol is something that I want to do. And I think that these measures are an appropriate way to help family timber farmers who are also who are going through great difficulty right now, also without hurting the communities that maybe have relied on this revenue reasonably in the past.
Getting this resolution onto the ballot is going to take plenty of work between the two parties. However, early returns have been promising.
It's gotten a lot of support up here. I think everybody understands, even local governments understand that this is really a crisis moment, that help is needed, and that this is a meaningful solution as long as we can just ensure that the locals will be able to be made whole and that they're not going to have a gap in their budget. And ultimately, it has to pass bipartisan. So it's have to have 2/3 votes in both the House and the Senate, and then it would be on the ballot in November for voters to approve it. And I'm glad that I'm the Republican leader in the state House, but there's also Democrat members that have signed.
Reporting from Atlanta, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
It's a pivotal time for the dairy industry, and that's why events like the Georgia Dairy Conference matter. As John Holcomb reports, its purpose is to give farmers and industry leaders a chance to openly discuss uncertain markets, rising challenges, and how they plan to keep their operations sustainable moving forward.
As always, dairymen from all over the Southeast recently gathered in Savannah for the annual Georgia Dairy Conference, a yearly event that's meant to bring together producers for a time of fellowship and education with the goal of increasing efficiency and profitability back on their operations.
This is not a research conference. This is a conference designed to help dairy farmers in the Southeast as well as Georgia become more profitable and sustain their business during these downturn in economic times. And we're trying to encourage self-motivation for farmers to identify their problems, recognize their challenges, and seek and implement solutions.
This year, the conference had a big focus on milk quality, which, according to Dr. Andy Johnson, one of the conference speakers, is something every dairy operation should be focusing on and is capable of.
Every dairyman is capable of having quality milk. If they're not there, it's because they've decided not to be there, but the changes I've seen here the last 25 years have been phenomenal. And now having dairies under 100,000 cell count is common, where it used to be unheard of. So my message was, you can do it if you make the decision you want to do it.
According to Dr. Johnson, that quality is more important than ever when it comes to consumer confidence, especially when there are so many choices out there.
The better your quality, the consumer's going to have more confidence in our products and buy more products. So consumers have choice. They can buy Coke, they can buy whatever, but they need to have the confidence when they buy a gallon of milk or a quart of milk or whatever, they're buying a quality product.
But despite that commitment to quality, the industry is still grappling with a concerning reality. Fewer consumers are choosing milk.
Demand for fluid milk, which is the main market for milk here in Georgia and the Southeast, that continues to be a challenge because unfortunately both per capita consumption as well as total milk demand keeps declining.
However, according to Covington, despite demand trending downward, production across the country has increased, creating an oversupply of fluid milk, which of course ends up driving the price paid to producers downward.
For the last year, milk production throughout the country has just taken off. And one of the reasons it's taken off, we've got more dairy cows in the country. We've got the highest number of dairy cows in this country today that we've had since the early 90s. So we're producing a lot of milk. Milk production now, the supply is exceeding demand.
And to add insult to injury, Covington believes because of those factors, producers should expect a drop in the price this year.
Unless something drastically changes, my current forecast here for milk prices here in Georgia and throughout the Southeast, about $1.75 or $2 a hundredweight lower than it was in 2026 over 2025.
Reporting in Savannah for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
Still ahead, how a Colquitt County family farm grew into a multi-state operation and why the values behind it matter now more than ever.
The University of Georgia, located in the southeastern United States, is driving innovation in agricultural and environmental sciences across the state of Georgia, the United States, and the world. Our researchers are pioneering new methods, making groundbreaking discoveries, and developing cutting-edge technology to ensure the sustainable future of agriculture and the environment for generations to come.
As Georgia's oldest and largest industry, agriculture represents hundreds of thousands of jobs and nearly 10 million acres of active farming operations across the state. With its humid subtropical climate, diverse soil types, and ample rainfall, Georgia provides an ideal environment for growing virtually any crop or animal, making it a prime location for agricultural research and innovation.
As Georgia's flagship land-grant institution, we are proud to be the research and development hub for the statewide agricultural landscape, connecting communities with cutting-edge research and technology through our robust cooperative extension model, and empowering students with the experience and expertise they need to tackle global agricultural and environmental issues throughout their careers.
From instruction to research to extension, the University of Georgia is a leader in agricultural innovation across the United States and around the world. Together with our international partners, our experts are opening doors for global partnerships and promoting the internationalization of agricultural research to provide producers with the research-backed information they need to feed and fuel the world.
From collaborative research on sustainable cattle breeding in Italy to revolutionizing the selection and the use of disease-resistant crops in Malawi, to partnering with Romanian universities in the development of their agricultural extension model, we are proud to work with our partners across the world to lead agricultural innovation both in the lab and in the field.
Discover how our expanding international partnerships are cultivating a stronger and more prosperous planet at caes.uga.edu.
Well, in case you missed it, Macon County dairyman Pete Gelber is now front and center, having recently been named Georgia's Farmer of the Year for 2026. Of course, along with that honor comes a seat at the table this October at Sunbelt Expo, where Pete will be one of 10 finalists vying for Southeastern Farmer of the Year. A title currently held by this man, Kent Hamilton of Southern Valley Fruit and Vegetable in Colquitt County. While Ken's run as Georgia Farmer of the Year has wrapped up, representing the entire Southeast is a responsibility he takes very seriously. If you know Kent, then you're well aware it's how he approaches everything he does. The same approach he brings to the operation his family built from the ground up. For Kent Hamilton, the story of the past 30 years isn't just about farming. It's about family. It's about faith. It's about the future of Georgia agriculture. From a modest start in Colquitt County, his dream has grown into Southern Valley Fruit and Vegetable, a name that now stretches from Georgia fields to farms across Tennessee, Florida, and even Mexico. What do you remember about Southern Valley when you first started, some of the memories, and what motivated you to keep expanding year after year?
We were just trying to figure out what we could grow that would be a good fit for us, that we didn't have to have a lot of expensive machinery to pack, that would be relatively easy to pack. And we started out carrying it to the farmers market in Thomasville. At the time, they had a live auction, and we carried it, ran it through that auction, and after doing that for some time, we met some of the buyers down there, and we teamed up with one specific buyer, and we would just take it directly to him then, and he was handling our product.
That mindset, equal parts determination and innovation, has guided Southern Valley through changing markets, unpredictable weather, and an ever-evolving agricultural landscape. But for Kent, the most rewarding part has always been the people beside him, mainly his family. One of those family members is his daughter Courtney, who's helping lead the operation into its next generation. Together, they've struck a balance between old-school values and forward-thinking practices, blending experience with fresh perspective.
When you talk to people, Kent, about Southern Valley, I mean, they often mention how it still feels like family despite its size, despite that you are multi-states. How do you make sure that sense of family and community never gets lost?
Well, family is very important, and people like to do business with people that they like, people that they can relate to. And I know that's the same way it is for companies that buy our product and the people that work for them, because when I buy fertilizers, chemicals, boxes, whatever it is, whatever supplies it is that we're buying to run our business, hey, I like to buy from people that I like, people that I can relate to, people that I get along well with. And having family and working with family, hey, that's good too, because we like each other. We spend time together, a lot of time together at work, and then we spend time together away from work.
Southern Valley has a year-round strategy, and it isn't accidental. Crops rotate across regions, soil is tested, and sap is analyzed. Every acre carefully monitored, a balance of science and instinct. For the Hamiltons, though, farming has never just been about growing produce. It's about growing opportunity, community, and a legacy built to last. And that balance between tradition and innovation is what's earned Kent not only the respect of his peers, but the honor of being named the 2025 Southeastern Farmer of the Year.
We need to be able to offer our customers different things, make sure we're able to offer the things that they want. It's not about us, it's about them. What do they want? And then we have to take those things and figure out, hey, how can we adapt that into our operation, into our business, and how can we be successful and be profitable doing those things.
Indeed, it is the perfect blend of tradition and innovation. Of course, we want to keep you up to speed on any of the stories you may have missed on today's show, and that's what the Farm Monitor YouTube page is for. But don't stop there. While you're online, give us a click and a like on the Farm Monitor Facebook page. Also, if you have a unique story idea or you just want to drop us a comment, shoot us a message on Facebook or email us at news@farm-monitor.com.
Coming up, we're celebrating a special birthday. Find out who it is. Plus, it's off to Madison, Georgia, where the Benkowski family is using their dairy cows to teach the next generation about farming, food, and where milk really comes from.
As humble as he is, this show would not be complete without pausing to recognize a special someone. From everyone here at the Farm Monitor, we want to wish a happy birthday to Georgia Farm Bureau President Tom McCall. And yeah, that goes without saying. We are very grateful for his service, his vision, and the example he sets every day. So again, happy birthday, President McCall, and best wishes for the year ahead.
Finally this week, the incredible story of a Georgia Farm Bureau family, courtesy of our friends at Holstein Association USA. It's about the commitment to sharing their way of life through others with farm tours, their commitment to young farmers and ranchers, and most of all, their commitment to telling the story of Georgia agriculture.
My name is Caitlin Benkowski. My family owns and operates Big Sandy Creek Dairy Farm in Madison, Georgia. We do outreach through agritourism, loaning cows out through 4-H and FFA, and a lot of different activities that we've had come up along the way as well.
Well, a small family farm, 80 milk cows, south of Athens, north of Madison, out here in the country.
In Madison, Georgia, it's nice most of the time. As far as the south, it's a great place to live, raise a family, and farm.
My grandparents came down from Connecticut in 1947 and built our first barn here. That was the first above ground parlor in the state of Georgia. Now it's my parents and my sisters and I that are here on the farm regularly. Apparently I was very involved in farm practices at a very young age, and so I went to our church preschool, which my mom helped found. And at the preschool one day, I used my sandwich bag to teach my class how to breed a cow, you know, like artificial insemination. So got an early jump on sharing the farm with other friends. So then our classes came out here.
They wanted to come out and see the cows, and then it started blossoming. I think we got more and more people that didn't realize what a cow was or where the milk came from.
So then it was like, well, we've started this, why can't we do this for other kids? Because our food chain has changed over time, and we wanted to make sure that kids had the same experiences that our children have.
Our farm tour system, it started small and it's definitely evolved over the years in how we do it, what we do. We have a really good system now that we're really proud of.
So today's farm group, we hosted a homeschool group, and our first station, everybody went into the barn to see Rosie get milked. And so you go in there, you have the opportunity to ask some questions. Then Farmer John attaches the milking machine, you can see the milk come out. The questions we try to address are, where does milk come from? What color does milk? Is there a strawberry cow? Is there a chocolate milk cow? Some of those questions are silly, but it gets people thinking. Then we go into the milk room where the milk is stored so that they can see that. There's a thermometer for you to see. You can touch the milk tank sometimes. They ask a host of questions there. We explain that homogenization and pasteurization process and make sure that they understand that our milk is a quality USD verified product. After they do that, they come out here to story time, and we try to read a story depending on the age group, and we show the milk where the cream has risen to the top. We've got some butter churns that you can churn butter with. And I think one of the highlights of our trip to the farm is the hayride. You go out into the pasture, the cows are out there, so they come right up to the hayride. We put out grain on the ground so that the cows can eat that. Then they come back, and then we try to give them ice creams, and then we have a goodie bag for the teachers to take back to the school. I think the feedback that we get is over the top. You know, we do a good job, and I'm proud of the job that we do.
The Holstein cow has played a big part in some of what we do to educate others. Obviously, we believe the Holstein cow's superior. Sorry to our other breed friends. We love the genetics of the Holstein cow, the production. We've evolved the genetics over the years, only using registered sires in our herd.
But when you do it registered cows, you can go back in history, you can tell all the ancestors how far it goes back and where the connections are. And it helps you decide what bull you want to breed to.
It helps us with the genetic process, looking for what Farmer John likes. When you're going to spend time going out to the pasture to get up cows, you're doing the milking process, and then you want them to go out, your investment is collecting milk, and so you want to make sure you have a top producer.
I think, we're a small farm, but I would hope to expand our agritourism in the future. I think agriculture is extremely important. Taking care of your farmers first ensures national security because you ensure your food supply. So I think for the future, we really need to back the American farmers so that we can always be self-sustainable.
Found a way to educate, inspire, and keep the traditions of dairy farming alive. Thanks so much to Holstein Association USA for that, but more importantly, thanks to all of you for spending time with Ray and me.
For everyone here at the show, stay safe, have a great week, and we'll see you again real soon for another Farm On Air.